Now, there's a reason I'm pushing as hard as I'm pushing. I know it seems desperate, and in some ways it is, but in some ways it's not. Follow me on this. There are autistic people suffering out there. This shouldn't be. We're doing things like behavioral therapy and all of that. But the big catch is, you're forcing us, what a lot of people are forcing us, to adapt for them instead of accepting us. And that's the problem. Is you have people faking it. Like, we have to fake it to keep from being bullied. We have to fake it to maintain a job when people are in that clique system and all that. It's why a lot of us don't like corporate America. And then we're forced into, okay, now we have to take medications to make you guys feel better. We have to modify our behavior to make you guys feel better. And then there isn't a discussion about parents that are disappointed. Nobody's having that conversation. When you have parents that are disappointed, they don't want to pay attention. Okay, parents of disabled children, if you look throughout history, there's a lot of resentment. There's a lot of self-blame. What's wrong with me? All of that. And the problem with the dialogue right now is that autism is seen as a disability. It is not. It is a different type of ability. We've been trying to brand that for a decade, 2 decades. Nobody's paying attention, which is also another commonality, is if the truth is inconvenient or if it's convicting, people choose to look the other direction. That's not productive. That's what children do. They ignore messes. And we've got a mess as far as autism and the autistic community goes. So let's just be real for 2 seconds. If we're going to be ignoring autism like the national news did on Autism Awareness Month, that's fine, but don't be surprised when we start making noise. I'm organizing people right now, and I'm trying to get us together because this needs to be a national conversation. People are suffering, and they're suffering needlessly because of misinformation and bias. There is a stigma associated with autism because a couple psychologists felt the need to say, well, this is a disability. No, we've been around for thousands of years. And if all of a sudden, this new whatever you want to say, these new doctors and everything like that trying to make a name for themselves, which by the way, that pisses me off. Stealing other people's ideas and just rebranding and all that good stuff. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some groundbreaking, like, I did this one video on Anaconda, right? Well, not Anaconda, but something that she was talking about the darker side of your personality. And yeah, there's breakthrough research being done because now we have the tools to do it, but I'm going to have to look a little bit deeper, but it feels like these two gentlemen are rebranding an old concept that was discussed by Carl Jung. And in fact, it terrified him, and for good reason, but he went too far on one side, too much of a black and white viewpoint instead of the 50 shades of gray in between. But I mean, that's also the best he could do with the information that he had at the time. And I respect the hell out of Carl Jung. By the way, Carl Jung, he is one of us. Functionally autistic, baby. Deal with it. In fact, I love Jordan Peterson from the fact that he, as far as prominent psychologists go, he's about the only person I've seen that I think really understands the depth of an autistic brain. Because I've seen what other people have done. I've seen what I can do. I've seen how I visualize and how difficult it can be for others to visualize and to walk through a pattern. Because when I see psychology, it's visualization. It's not just the mental knowledge and accumulation of data. There's more to it. And it feels like Jordan Peterson understands. The rest of you don't, and the discussion isn't happening, and that's the problem. It's not terribly difficult, it's just people like myself aren't actively involved in the conversation, and we all have nuance. So if we're going to be explaining ourselves, I've spent a lifetime blending into multiple different communities and all of that. It's why I'm taking this task on, because and I don't have anything else to lose. I've already lost everything. So I'm the guy that can be the last-ditch effort without worrying about, hey, how's this going to affect me later? Plus, I have an absolutely incredible story to back it up. That's why I'm trying to step up as far as autism, but I want other people to step up too. I want other people in the community to step up too and take a step back, work together, instead of trying to promote ourselves, just work together, because that's what normies do. Normies promote themselves. They walk over each other and all that. That's not what our kind do. And I think if you're a functional autist or on the spectrum on my side, you know this. So let's start banding together. Drop some comments below, start talking to each other, start promoting each other's pages. We need to get this conversation national, because if the national news isn't going to pay attention, let's start the conversation. My 2 cents.